Christians, and everyone who still believes in Santa Claus, aka Saint Nick. Today, I'm going to be doing a Saints rebuild. So far for the division, I did the Buccaneers. That was pretty good. Did that one all in one straight take. I did the Falcons. That was a two-parter. Also a pretty fun franchise, I would say. And then the Panthers. So I tried to do the Saints in recent history, and I kind of failed. Um, I ran into some cap issues. I didn't do the best with restructuring contracts or making trades. So I'm going to try again. Before I get started, I'm trying to think of what division to do next. Obviously, right now, we're doing a division in the NFC. Probably going to do an AFC one after that just to try to get a little bit of a change of pace because, mix it up a little bit. And then we'll move on further with that. I have a few ideas of how I'm going to rebuild this team, but I haven't 100% put everything to light yet. But we'll see what happens. Alright, we'll use the typical settings. That will involve playing on all Madden competitive, 15-minute quarters. Um, yeah, 15-minute quarters because that's real football. We'll put a limit of how many times we can use plays. I do this every time, but just in case this is the first one someone sees, I'm just letting you know what I do. Auto that. Injury management because I'm going to sim the first year. So the way I plan on doing this is similar to all the other ones. I sim the first year just to see what kind of year the team has that I put together, and then ultimately the next 3 years are all rebuild style, try to get to the playoffs. Once we get to the playoffs, part one ends, I start part two there. And then going forward, I like to make the teams, the actual NFL teams, realistic, and then when it comes to the relocation teams, I'll build them all around some sort of theme, regardless if it's about creating the best defense possible or something that's not so realistic. But if you're going to add a random expansion team or a relocation team and then assume that there's going to be a completely new roster and then a new regime, then yes, teams do change. So in my mind, it's not realistic, but it makes more sense if you think about it. So going forward with the Saints, we will build around Dennis Allen and Derek Carr, kind of doing what they're already doing in real life. Building around a team that doesn't have cap space can be a little bit difficult. The first thing I'm going to do is I know Carl Granderson got a contract extension, so I am going to just quickly give him his contract extension. Defensive end. I'm actually going to move him to outside linebacker. I'm going to kind of mess around with the defensive end a little bit. I know this team has Isaiah Foskey, a guy who I think would make more sense on the edge as opposed to a linebacker position. Oh, they already gave him his contract extension. Well, there you go. That works. So I plan on starting Foskey in his rookie season. We'll start Brian Breesy. We can make a couple of moves at the D-tackle position. That doesn't have to be the way it is right now. Pete Werner's fine. Demario Davis is fine. From what I've seen so far in the simulation, first of all, Jordan Howard, he's a rookie, he can get some playing time. But from what I've seen so far in the simulation, safeties don't tend to do a lot on the stat sheet for this team. So I'm going to actually move Tyrann Mathieu to corner. I don't believe he's ever played corner in his career in the NFL. I mean, I'm sure he's probably tried it a few times in a few packages, but we're going to kind of experiment with that. I have a few pieces on, especially the defensive side of the team, that I want to get. But on offense, there's about two guys I'm interested in. The first guy I know is injured right now in real life, but I'm going to see if we can still find a way to kind of finagle a trade. I want to bring him to New Orleans if possible. Yeah, I want to bring Odell to New Orleans. Did he sign a 1-year deal or was it a 2-year deal? I thought it was a 2-year deal. Or maybe it was a 1-year deal. They want to exchange of picks. Yeah, sounds about right. The only problem with getting Odell is he is on a 1-year deal, and we might not have the money to bring him back. I did want to get Odell, but if he's only on a 1-year deal, then that probably doesn't work. I am going to just quickly fact check and make sure he only has a 1-year deal, because for some reason I thought he signed a 2-year deal, but Let's see. Odell Beckham Jr. contract. Did he not sign a 2-year deal? Was it a 1-year deal? Up to 15 million with incentives 1 year. Oh, okay. Oh, my bad. All right, well that idea no longer is going to work then, because if we're not going to have cap space and we can't bring him back, then there's almost no point. I do want to get an additional guy on the offensive line, so I am going to target a guy like Christian Durasol could be interesting. I just need a young guy like Ed Ingram, someone who's like effective but doesn't need to be the main guy. Oof, that is a lot of picks. Oof, that is also a lot of picks. If we could swap an O-lineman for him, then I'll do it. But if not, then I won't do it. Like, he's got a 1-year deal. I won't be able to pay him anyway. If we can get Ed Ingram and maybe some late-round picks, I would make this swap, to be honest. As opposed to giving them a bunch of picks. Wow. I actually don't value him. We'll just do this then. Yeah, I'll give up a bunch of later picks, but it will work out at the end because we have to get rid of Kaiser Ruiz anyway. Because we can accept his option next year, but then we would just have to trade him next year and we'll be in the negatives. And when you're in the negatives, the only problem is the game sometimes doesn't allow you to make trades. So, unless it's like draft pick related. So trading Cesar Ruiz would make sense right now. Mercedes Lewis. I didn't know Mercedes Lewis was on the Bears. I don't know if that's real or not, but that's interesting. Zach Moss, Antonio Gibson, Kenneth Gainwell. Alright, we could go a couple very different directions with this. There's like a specific guy I think I want. There's a very specific guy I think I want. I don't think I can make the trade with the Bears right now that I'm thinking in my mind happen, just because of the value it would take. The Bears are going to be a bad team. They're expected to have the first pick. There's no point in trying to do business with them at the moment. But if we can swap picks, I think we'll be a good team as well. And I think I want Ed Oliver from the Bills. And if I want to get Ed Oliver, which is a guy who he has an extension already. It will work out with us because we won't have to worry about paying him later when we don't have the money. We could start off with Cesar Ruiz because they say they want a right guard anyway. It seems to get a good amount of the trade to go through. Yeah, we'll use him in this trade. And then if we swap picks with the Bills, we can get a bunch of draft picks to go get another guy I might want to make up for the Ed Ingram trade. I don't think we're going to be a bad team, and if we're trading projectively up to 18 picks, I'm sure we can get more draft picks in this trade. Maybe like some seconds or some thirds or something on that line. Maybe something like this. Yep, something like that indeed. Take out that third. Okay, maybe the second is a little too steep. How about a third, another third, a fourth, another third? Something like that. Take out the third. Okay. Yeah, okay, I get it. I'm driving a little too high of a bargain. We'll get some fourths and fifths, maybe. Okay, take out the fifth. And take out the fourth. Make it a sixth and a seventh. Maybe that. Oh, okay, no seventh, my bad. Okay. So, take out the sixth. And make it a different seventh then. Make it a this year's seventh. Take out the other seventh, I guess. Okay. Alright, being a little stingy here, but okay. Maybe we'll swap first round picks with a different team that we think will be worse. Because the Bills I don't think are going to be worse anyway. So maybe... Hold on. So Cesar Ruiz is almost like a third of the way. The other guy I want to get another defensive back. And the Bears have the defensive back I'm interested in. I'm interested in Eddie Jackson. So, they seem to have a yellow interest bar. So maybe he's better off in this trade then. Can we get Eddie Jackson and picks, or is it just Eddie Jackson? If it's just Eddie Jackson, that is fine. I just want to know what the situation we're working here with is. Yeah, to be fair, you are giving me the better player, so that's fair. Yeah, it's about halfway. I'll use him in this trade then. Wow, we don't have many picks in this year's draft. I flooded a lot of draft capital in the Ed Ingram trade. Well, in hindsight, that was a poor decision. We can give up a third, and then another future. I actually don't really have much to give up at all. If we gave you a next year second, maybe we can get a future third, fifth, and sixth, or something like that. No? I'm just looking at the color, and I'm thinking that these are worth a lot more than they are. Really isn't much value coming in this trade, is there? Really? Wow, Eddie Jackson has a high price tag, apparently. We can give up Lynn Bolden. And maybe 1 year deal of Malcolm Roach. Yeah, I'm giving them a lot for Eddie Jackson. But I do want Eddie Jackson. I'm not going to lie. I do want Eddie Jackson. So, for me, this is worth the tag I'm paying. Alright, we got Eddie Jackson. It's official. Yeah, that was a lot to give up for Eddie Jackson. Especially for a defensive back who's going to be turning 30. But, you know. This is going to be one of those teams where draft picks is not the most important thing to me. There are some teams when I rebuild where I focus a lot more on draft picks. This team specifically, draft picks is not going to be the aim of this team, is rebuilding to the draft constantly, which unfortunately is probably a better way to go about this because we're not going to have cap space. So if we're not going to have cap space, having draft picks would make a lot more sense. But we're playing on a new turf here. We're trying a new thing. I want Ed Oliver. It's that simple. I just want Ed Oliver. To swap picks with you would probably not be in my best interest. So what if I just gave you my second for Ed Oliver? Almost there. Okay. And then we give you some filler players. Tony Jones is on a 1-year deal. We'll offer Tony Jones. We'll offer Keith Kirkwood. Tony Jones, and a second-round pick for Ed Oliver. That was a lot to give up, but it's okay. We get our D tackle. We can put next to Brian Breesy. We get our DB to replace Tyrann Mathieu because Tyrann Mathieu got moved to corner. Okay. These guys play next to each other. Cam Jordan, Isaiah Foskey. The DBs look nice. Rookie Jordan Howden will get to play. The linebacker core looks decent. Defensively, this is okay. I can live with that. Offensively, we bring in Ed Ingram, who will probably replace Andres Payet when he leaves. Tight end looks okay for now. I was going to try to bring in Odell, but he only has a 1-year deal, so that's not going to work out. Jamal Williams is injured, so we'll have to find a different power back solution. So a different power back and then a different receiver maybe. I guess that's the last few things we're looking for. Jameis Winston, he's on a 1-year deal. We're not going to be able to pay him. It'd be best to just kind of let him walk now, really. Equanius St. Brown could be a receiver on our team. Zach Moss could be the power back we're looking for, but I think he only has 1 year left on his deal, though. Let me see. Contract. He's a capable power back. The only problem is with 1 year on his deal, if we can't pay him, what's the point? Although, the only reason why that trade would actually still make any sense is because then we'd get some draft picks to make up for what we've lost. So I'm not against it. I think the Jameis Winston trade should just be about getting us some draft picks, just because we gave up so many of them. The Bears would be interested in Jameis Winston. That makes sense. Yeah, a good veteran who can kind of help Justin Fields a little bit. I mean, would he help Justin Fields? That's kind of questionable, but anywho, It seems to be that the Bears are the only team that really have any marketing interest. I don't need a lot from them. It could be like a 4th round pick, maybe some future 5ths. Yeah, it could just be like a bunch of late round picks. Could be something like that. Okay, so we get rid of Jameis Winston. We got a 4th round pick. We got 3 5ths and 2 6ths. That was just us replenishing some of our draft capital. That was really the only point of making that trade. If we're going to get a backup quarterback on a 1-year deal, we may as well get some draft picks for the one that we can't afford to bring back. Okay. If we can deal... now I know Rashid Shaheed's actually kind of decent, but if we're not going to be able to pay him, if we can get a different receiver on a multi-year deal, I would be fine with that trade. No. Boston Scott's okay. Not what I'm looking for specifically, but Boston Scott would be okay. Mason Kinsey out of Berry College. Yeah, no. I am going to do with that type of trade, but probably for somebody else. Like a low 70 overall receiver would be fine if I can find someone who has at least a multi-year deal. Like, Khalil Shakir might actually not be bad. Decent playmaker, could be used as a slot receiver. Yeah, I'll take Khalil Shakir, and if we can get some late round picks out of it, that'd be nice. I don't know if this is too much. That probably is too much to ask for, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Ooh, almost. Take out that 6th round pick. Actually, you know what? No. Give me that 6th and that 5th, and then I will give you another player to kind of even it out. I think that's what we'll do. We have a punter and kicker both on 3-year deals, so we don't have to worry about that. We have Jordan Howden on 4-year deal. I guess Lonnie Johnson could probably go. In a separate trade, we could trade Lonnie Johnson. We don't need both of these guys. I would prefer to keep Ugo. We'll trade Isaac in this trade. So Isaac and Rashid Shaheed, they want something else as well. Okay. Ty Summers is on a 1-year deal. We'll throw Ty Summers. So for Isaac Yadam, Rashid Shaheed, and Ty Summers, we get Khalil Shakir and a bunch of late round picks. That works for me. That gets me my new 3rd receiver / 4th receiver as well. Because now rookie A.T. Perry can play, Khalil Shakir can play, Chris Olave and Mike Thomas. That's the receiving core. We might draft a running back, actually. Maybe I'll sim just a few weeks to see how we're playing. And then if we really need to trade, if we're bad, I'll keep my pick. If we're good, I'll swap my pick for a team that has injuries that looks like they'll projectively get worse. I think that's the direction I'm going with this team. Yeah. Yep. And now we have 5 open roster slots, so we can just grab some depth guys. That will include a backup quarterback, somebody who can be a good backup running back as well. So backup quarterback, we're going to take a shot at... We're going to hope that Derek Carr stays healthy in this universe, and we'll give Josh Rosen a redemption arc. Yeah, we'll do that. Power back. It's going to have to be someone we're perfectly okay with not resigning. Just someone who can be a power back for a season in case Jamal Williams is out for extended periods of time. That's going to be... It's going to be Snoop Connor. Bring Snoop Connor to the team. There's plenty of receivers we could add, but I don't see too much of a purpose to it. Yeah, we should just let the young guys play. That's fine. Tight end, we're good. A depth O-lineman couldn't hurt at right tackle, perhaps. So we can bring in someone like... Someone like Tom Compton. Bring in Tom Compton. I can still sign 2 more players. A depth linebacker fits me as a good idea. Hmm. Veteran Jason Pierre-Paul. We'll take veteran Jason Pierre-Paul, and then we'll go get another safety that we can play with Jordan Howden. So Jordan Howden, we want him to start, but as a backup, we can go get Quincy Williams or someone else. I'll take former Detroit Lion Tease DeBoer. That. Okay. So, if by the time we get to the trade deadline, if we're a terrible team, then I'll start making some trades to kind of move around our draft pick. Let's sim the first 3 or 4 weeks, get a feel for how we are as a team. We beat the Titans, but that doesn't really mean too much. The Panthers are going to be a harder team to beat. The Panthers tend to just be pretty good in the sim, just in general. So, yep, 35-14 loss. Sounds about right. Oh, we lose to the Packers. Yeah, our draft pick's going to come a little bit more in handy then. Oh, we're 1-3. Yep. We lose to the Patriots by 2. Trade deadline's in a few weeks, so we beat the Texans. How do we do against the Jags? Okay, we're 2-5. Objectively, it makes the most sense for us to keep our pick. If there is a team that's in the realm of as bad as us, then maybe we can trade down a few slots just to pick up a few extra picks. The Broncos haven't won a game. Neither have the Cardinals. The Lions are 1-6. That makes me sad. We're 2-5. We're just as bad as the Bears. The Chargers are somehow just as bad as us. This is a weird-looking league. The Packers are 5-1 in this universe. That's interesting. And the Falcons are 6-1. Okay. If there's no serious injury, the only team right now that I might swap picks with is the Vikings. Even though they're only 1 game better than us, their pick is projectively a lot lower, and I think we actually might win more games than we look like we will on paper. And given the fact that we're a bad team, it wouldn't be the worst idea to start trading some people that we know we can't re-sign. We don't have money, right? I have to assume we don't have the money. Yeah, negative $55 million cap space. We have a player option on Peyton Turner. I didn't even know we had that. None of these guys we'll be able to bring back anyway. Lonnie Johnson, we could probably swap him for some draft picks. And maybe Trey Turner. Lonnie Johnson, we'll probably swap them for some draft picks. And I have to assume that maybe the Vikings might be a team worth swapping picks with. It also might be a bad idea to do that. Because what if I end up being way worse after making trades? I could run into that problem. But I think right now, after I look at the injury report, I'll make that decision. The Vikings right now are the team that I'm thinking about swapping picks with. Because we... oh, you guys are on IR. And I can't take you off IR, can I? Oh, I can. I can remove you from IR. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't need you to be on IR then if you're healthy. If you're injured, then I don't need you. Then I... Yeah, hold on. Are you not on IR? No, you're not on IR. Oh, you are on IR. This is confusing. Anywho, I could take you off IR. Yeah, come back. We're gonna try to compete. So we're going to take our guys off IR, and then we're going to start making some trades, and then hopefully we can still stay somewhat competitive. Because if you're injured, then you don't. If you're not injured anymore, you don't need to be on IR. Is how at least that's how I feel right now. Yeah. Okay. So we bring back Jamal Williams and we bring back Marcus May. That should help us with competing. So if we do want to swap our picks, it wouldn't be the worst idea. Let's look at the injury report of some other teams. I was thinking about swapping picks with the Vikings. If they have any, big injuries, then um, none of those are anything too insane. Rams not having Cooper Kupp, that might be something. Ooh, the Panthers are still beating us, so it doesn't really matter. The Packers are somehow 5-1. The Lions are bad in this universe, but I don't think we can convince them to swap picks with us without giving up more picks. Saquon's out for 6 weeks. We could swap picks with the Giants. That's a possibility. Alright, so far the Giants seem like my best bet so far. Washington loses Chase Young again. The Colts don't have some of their premier talent. They don't have Jonathan Taylor right now. You guys don't have Williams. Cardinals have lost so much of their talent as well. Vikings haven't lost anyone that's really gonna prevent them from competing. So Steelers lost Cam Hayward, but he's on IR. So really the Steelers and maybe really the Steelers are the only team that the Steelers and the Giants are the only two teams that I'm really thinking about swapping picks with. Because I think I might end up with a better record than one of them. Not sure which one, but what are the Giants and the Steelers right now? The Giants are 4-3, and the Steelers are 3-3. Points forward, only 79. They actually are the worst team in the league in terms of scoring. I think there's a chance we get better than them. I might swap picks with the Steelers. I'm thinking that's what I do. And they're only one game better than me, so I might not get a lot in return. But I think that's a good plan. We swap our projected 13 pick. The Steelers are probably projected, what, pick 18 or something? Oh, it's 15? I can't probably get much in this trade. Let's try something like that then. Let's see, what do they want for pick 15? What do they want? That's not happening. They want a higher projected first round pick. Well, no, I would give you my 13th pick, but I feel like I deserve more, not if I'm giving you the projected higher pick. What can I get for my pick 13? Darnell Mooney, Cheetah Awuzie. I like Cheetah Awuzie, but that doesn't seem like that makes a lot of sense. David Njoku's nice, but also doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense. Gerald Everett's cool. Kenny Moore's cool. Josh Uch in this universe gets traded to the Dallas Cowboys. Well, that's ironic, considering the fact of how bad the Cowboys beat the Patriots. So that's very ironic. Not necessarily seeing a trade that makes me feel like I should go deep into it yet. No. I originally wanted Odell, but the one-year deal's a little bit deterring. Pat Peterson's cool. I would take a Roger McCreary trade, but the draft picks just don't seem to match up. Maybe I'll just let myself be a kind of mediocre team, and then come time to draft, I'll just trade down if I don't see any talent worth taking. I think that's probably the direction I go with this team. Who's on one-year deal? You gotta go. There's a few guys I mentioned 2 seconds ago that I would look to trade because they might have some value. Not these guys. Oh, we just brought back Jamal, so... I feel like there was like a person 2 seconds ago I was thinking about trading because he had a one-year deal. I already kind of forgot who it was. Oh, it was Lonnie Johnson. And who's the other guy? There was one other person I was thinking about maybe adding into the trade. So it was Lonnie Johnson and somebody else. Whoever it was probably got injured, I guess. But I can't trade Try Turner, so we'll have to do something else. So Lonnie Johnson can go, and then we'll throw Ugo in that trade as well. Yeah, we'll just try to get a few more draft picks. That's really all we can do at the moment. We'll send them to the Texans. I don't know. Whatever draft picks you'll give me are good enough, I guess. How about just some late picks? There we go. We might still compete for a playoff spot, so I'm not gonna rush into anything just yet. If we end up being way better, so be it. I didn't want to swap picks and risk getting a pick that's not gonna work out, so I'm gonna just keep what I have for now. And I can always make changes later if need be. Four and 13. Okay, so it's a good thing we didn't swap picks. I thought maybe after bringing the guys back from IR that maybe we'd be a little bit more competitive, but no, we we were terrible. 4 and 13. That's why we kept our first round picks. That's good. I considered trading with the Steelers. Would that have been an okay idea? They went 6 and 11. Well, at least now I get pick 4 instead of pick. Was that 9, 10? Okay. So I think I made the right call with that then. Alright, let's get to the playoffs. Not the playoffs, let's get to the Super Bowl. Let's go see who's in the Super Bowl. Yeah, objectively, not the best season. The Bengals and the 49ers. I could see the 49ers making it to the Super Bowl. I don't know about the Bengals, but 49ers seems relatively reasonable. Negative 60 million cap. Yeah, that's what makes rebuilding the Saints an interesting story. Because it's not like you're going into free agency, getting all these upgrades and making your team better off rip. You really got to think about who you're going to trade, who you're going to keep. Because anyone you have on a one-year deal, you're not able to re-sign anyway. So tanking for a season sounded like it would have been the right thing to do. The only difference is maybe I would have. Maybe I would have got rid of more of my one-year deals. But I don't really care too much. I can't bring any of these guys back, except for, like, Peyton Turner, because he has an option. But Try Turner, I can't afford to bring anyone back. No matter how good you are, you have to leave. So, sorry, guys. We'll work around the cap. We'll work around the cap and eventually get this team to looking a little bit better. But right now, that's what we're working with. We can go into free agency all we want. There's nothing we can do. There's no real way I can see myself making $60 million in cap space. Even if I got rid of Eddie Jackson, Marcus May, Tyrann Mathieu. Yeah, these guys have penalties. Yep, so even if I did get rid of my supposed biggest cap savers, I still wouldn't have any money. Yeah, so there's no point. We just gotta play to the team's strengths. So free agency, there's nothing we can do. We'll just sim to the draft. I didn't look at the draft. I don't know who's in it. Depending on how many holes we have on our roster to fill, that's what I'll do with the pick. I don't imagine I'll use the 4th pick of the draft if I have so many holes on my roster to fill. I'll just trade down, get more picks, and then draft more filler players. Even if there's like an elite monster we can get at pick 4, I don't think it's worth it. Alright, so we still have Penning, we still have Hurst, we still have Eric McCoy. Ed Ingram is now our starting right guard. The old line's not that bad. Derek Carr gets worse, unfortunately. Jamal Williams declines. Alvin Kamara declines. Chris Olave becomes a better receiver. Morale on the team's down because we've been losing. So that stinks. Still have Marcus May. Still have a rookie Jordan Howden. Tyrann Mathieu becomes a star. Hmm. So on the defensive side of the ball, I can't really say we need much. Yeah, I can't really say we need much on the defensive side of the ball. Does seem to be more offensive needs. Um, yeah, we would probably need a quarterback. Um, what I'll probably do is I might draft a quarterback and then let Derek Carr kind of take like a game manager role, but still be utilized. I think that's the kind of direction I'm going to go. So, can I check the mock draft real quick? Is there somebody that I'd be okay with trading down for and still obtaining? At pick 4, we're taking a left tackle. Yeah, we're not doing that. Toby King, top 5 projected. Toby King, good deep passer, good medium passer, decent short passer, great throw under pressure, beautiful spiral on his passes, elite throw power, decent speed. Not good at carrying the ball, not good at play action. I like to run a lot of play action. So he's a pocket passer for days. Got it. Yeah, no. I'm sure there's another quarterback we can settle for. Dwayne Reese. That's an option. Receiver Philip Ford. That's also an option. Philip Ford. A catching, A release, good deep threat, good physical jump ball receiver. Great speed. Philip Ford. I'm interested in this guy at receiver. If we can trade down to pick 15, I wouldn't mind taking one of these receivers. Gary McConnell. Not a good deep thrower, but definitely a field general. Throws well in the short. Definitely can't run. Okay. So quarterback's a bit of a difficult thing to draft in this year. This tight end looks decent as well. I think trading down to pick 15 and then drafting a receiver is probably the route I'm going to go with this. Receiver doesn't really even seem to be like our biggest need for this team, but at the moment, that's really all I can see worth doing in the first round. Otherwise, I wouldn't be drafting in the first round. I would just be drafting multiple guys probably in the second round. And then there's at least one guy. Ooh, award winner. I just want to see that real quick. Award winner? Did he win best DB? 6 interceptions, a sack, 82 tackles, 5 passes deflected. Oh yeah, he won best defensive back. Oh, that's cool. All right. What can I get for pick 4? Because I want pick 15, but I just want to see what other teams are offering. So in free agency, Austin Eckler decides to sign with the Cardinals. That's phenomenal. Deontay Banks and picks. Not feeling it. Michael Onwenu. Not feeling it. Yeah, I'm not feeling any of those. However, I will trade down with the Raiders and try to obtain some more picks. I like the idea of getting pick 15. Maybe I can snag a second, future third and fourth, and then another future pick thing. Can we do something like that? Maybe something like that. Something like this. Maybe something like this. Something like that. I'm going to try to make this trade happen. Throw in a future 6th. I'll throw in a future 7th. The Raiders are being really stingy with me right now. give him 2/6. Wow. Okay, Raiders, I see how it is. My God. Try again. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. You want 3 6th-round picks? Sure, why not? I'll bite. 3 6th-round picks and pick 4 for pick 15 in a second. You know, in real life, if you were going to trade up that many picks, I feel like I could have got a lot more value out of it, but I did need the 2nd-round pick. I traded my 2nd-round pick for Ed Oliver, so that seemed to be like the best move. Hopefully that receiver I want's still there. With pick 1, you draft a right tackle. Alright, let's see what the Raiders do with my pick. The Raiders decide to draft quarterback Gary McConnell. Oh. He was originally projected pick 17, so that's interesting. Alright, I'll just look at some offers, but I'll probably just use my pick, to be honest with you. A next year 1st-round pick, a this year 2nd. That's my 2nd-round pick, by the way. So I can have my 2nd-round pick back. I can get a next year 1st, a future 5th and 7th. No. I could take pick 22, and I could pick up a next year 3rd and 2 6ths. That's not the worst. The Raiders want another 1st-round pick. They want their 1st-round pick back. They'll give me a next year 1st, 2nd, and 7th. The Lions will give me... Ooh, you know, actually, that Lions trade looks pretty good. That does look pretty good. Or I can get a 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in this year's draft, and then a future 5th. Options are options. Pick 27, a 2nd, a 4th. Tough option. Very tough option. Let me just see who I can potentially draft. Is the guy I might want even there anymore? He is. Philip Ford. He's still here. He's projected to go as the next pick, so if I don't draft him now, he's probably gone. Avoids big hits, fights for extra yards, exceptional body control on the sideline. He's a lefty, 6'3", physical receiver, great speed, elite jumping. In case we lose Michael Thomas, having a receiver is probably a good thing. So, I think I just bite the bullet and just take a risk on a receiver. I mean, there's other good receivers, but A, catching traffic, 6'5". It looks like there's multiple good receivers in this draft. Do I dare trade down to pick 27 and miss out on one of these 3 receivers? Is there other good receivers? Is there any other receiver who's projected to go later that I might want? If I traded down, I could always draft this guy. Or I could draft that tight end who I thought looked kind of nice. Good. A run blocking? A tight end with A run blocking? That might be way more useful for me, actually. If I trade down to pick 27 and draft Manny Gerard instead. I'm going to do that. I'm going to trade down with that Falcons pick and go get pick 27. Or go get pick 31 from the 49ers. One way or another. I think I take one of those deals. I think that just makes a little bit more sense. Pick 22. Nah, I don't need pick 22. This would be me trading out a little too late. That's a good trade. That is a good trade. But I want to pick in the 1st round so I could draft that tight end. So right now that trade doesn't work for me. If I take this trade, I get to pick up a 3rd pick as well. I'll take the risk. Give me that 49ers trade. We'll take the risk. 49ers also don't need a receiver, so. Left tackle, do they draft the receiver? They draft Phillip Ford. Hopefully that doesn't come back and bite me. There's still one more decent looking receiver on the board. There's a chance that he doesn't go until my pick. Oh, I'm just kidding. Alright, hopefully no one drafts my tight end. That was the whole reason I traded back in the first place. You guys definitely don't need a tight end. And neither do you. The Packers, maybe. Packers might draft him. They don't. Okay. So yeah, with pick 31, I'm going to draft that tight end. I think that a tight end with A, run blocking will really help a team that likes to run the ball a lot. And it also might be a good pass catch option downfield. I was between Manny Gerard and Brian Wagner. But I think I'm going to take Manny Gerard instead. It's not often you find a tight end with A, run blocking. Take Manny Gerard. 88 speed. Not bad. We trade down, we get a new tight end. We're not going to be able to pay all our tight ends anyway, so may as well get a guy who we can actually use. Luke Kerr. Alright, Braxton. You're not good at zone coverage. You're a kind of crappy corner. Jay Schultz might be a good pick. Probably gonna take Jay Schultz. Yeah. Well, there is this receiver if we want to take a shot at him. Westerman. I'll take him with my other second round pick if he falls to me. If not, then drafting a receiver is not the biggest need right now anyway. I'm going to take this left tackle right now because our O-line is going to get worse. So give me Jay Schultz. And hopefully that receiver falls to me with my next second round pick. I feel like the Panthers might draft him. I have to survive 11 picks. That's probably not going to happen. Oh, he's still there. He's still there. The Ravens opt to take a different receiver. He's still there. I'm probably going to take him. I think he's going to fall to me. I probably should have considered that quarterback. I didn't think of it. Alright, so the receiver I want is still there. Christopher Westerson, he's still there. Is there any quarterback options that look okay? There is. This is Josh Guerrero guy. Do I trade up and draft Josh Guerrero? Poor jumping. I don't really see how that matters. He's solid and good at a lot of things. He might be like a 68 overall, but he still wouldn't be terrible. I might trade up for him. I'm not sure yet. But I'm gonna go take my receiver right now. I want this Christopher Western guy. This is the receiver. I feel like this receiver is nice. Okay. Oh, another receiver. We could take a depth guy. Rasheem Williams can play backup linebacker. I'm gonna take him. Alright, hmm. I think maybe... No. Yeah, okay, Josh Guerrero's still here. We'll take Josh Guerrero in the third round. At least we have a backup quarterback now. He might be like a 65 overall, but that's fine. And then with the second to last pick of the 7th round, we'll take... We have a punter and kicker under contract already. Who do we draft at the 7th round? Depth running back, I guess. Yeah, we won't have cap space, so maybe just get a depth running back. We'll take Imani Jones. Take him. And the Bengals won the Super Bowl, so they get the last pick. Good for them. Quick draft recap. What we got? We drafted a 76 overall tight end in the first round, 73 overall left tackle in the second round, 72 overall receiver in the second round, 72 overall linebacker in the third round, 67 overall quarterback in the fourth round, and a 64 overall running back in the 7th round. Not bad. Not a bad draft. Alright, let's look around the league. With the 4th pick, the Raiders took a 73 overall quarterback. There was an 80 overall quarterback who I considered trading up for, but I didn't. That's okay. There's an... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. The receiver that I was gonna take was an 80 overall, but I didn't take him. It's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Yep. Oop. Yep. 85 catching, 93 speed, 90 spec catch. Yep. He's a beast. He's a dog. And I opted not to take him. I opted to trade down and draft a bunch of other people instead. Well, damn. And I chose Shalil Shakir over Phillip Ford. That's cool. All 3 of those receivers, like I said, they were all good. They're literally all good receivers. It's not every day that in the draft that they're all that good though. And then this was a guy I had a chance on, but I took a different person instead. I could have had Devin Glover. That's okay. So a bit of a mishap draft by me. Looking at what actual talent was in the draft, I actually didn't do too good of a job. Now, my last couple of franchises when I drafted, I did very well. This one, I did not do very well. We don't have any cap space. We have to cut 7 players. This is going to be a rough season, but next year is going to be the season where we figure out how to make this a good team. Next year is going to have to be the year. I don't envision I can make this team any better right now. Not with negative 70 million cap space. Alright, who's going? Quarterback. We have Jake Hayner. Jake Hayner can hit the practice squad. Matt, you're going to have to go. McAllister, you're going to have to go. We still have Keandre Miller, so I guess the running back I drafted will have to hit the practice squad as well. We'll get rid of Pokey for now. Reggie. You have to get... No, we'll practice squad Reggie. At least the tight end we drafted was good. He's a 76 overall with good run blocking, so... At least we didn't miss on the tight end pick. But yeah, nah, not getting that good receiver was unfortunate. Season goal, maybe 7 wins. We only had 4 wins last year. but we also lost a lot of our great players, so anything can happen. If this ends up being a playoff team, I'd be a little shocked. It's a team that's not bad, but it probably shouldn't be that great either. We draft Jay Schultz. Make Jay Schultz the left guard of the team. Make him a left guard. He's a rookie. He should be playing. He'll get better. Trevor Pending, Jay Schultz, Eric McCoy, James Hurst, and Ryan Ramsick. Tight end looks fine. Taysom Hill will take on a slightly bigger role. Actually, do that. Our rookie receiver will play a little bit. Ooh. I was going to move you to middle linebacker anyway. How long are you out for? A week with a high ankle sprain. Okay, so he'll be back. Going to move Rasheem Williams, the guy I drafted in the 3rd round. We're going to move him to middle linebacker. We'll do that. Okay. Foskey's there, Brian Breesy and Ed Oliver. Still got Cam Jordan. You know, actually, I'm going to move Cam Jordan to outside linebacker. I'm going to do that. Cam Jordan's going to play left outside linebacker instead. Granderson's going to move to left end. That way we don't have him in pass coverage. Our combination of cornerback should be efficient. We might be a sleeper playoff team. I don't think we're anywhere near one of the better playoff teams, but we might be a sneaker playoff team. The lack there of depth might hurt this team. I'm going to put Alontae Taylor in the slot. Let the rookie play as the slot receiver. Let Jamal be the power back. Alright, we'll give this a shot. If we can make the playoffs with this team, I have no problem trying to win this team a Super Bowl with the way they're already built. But given the roster we have, I could imagine this might take another year or two. Oh, we beat the Giants. That's awesome. Okay. Now we gotta take on the Cowboys. We have an injury. Who got hurt? No Trevor Penning or Brian Breesy for 2 weeks. Alright. Yeah. The injuries are going to make it a little unfortunate, but we'll do the best we can. The Cowboys are a good team. We'll see if we can hang in with them for a little bit. Unfortunately not. Actually, it was a close game. It was 28-26, so not too bad. Just for my own interest, maybe I'll watch the play-by-play of one of the games just to see if anything of significance happens for us as a roster. Oh, now Warner's hurt. That's unfortunate. I guess we'll let Rasheem play outside linebacker. If we can't beat the Buccaneers, trying to beat the Falcons will be a little bit more important. We do beat them. That's good. quarterback check-in. Yep, Derek Carr is playing some pretty good football, I'm assuming. If we're even competing, I'm sure then he's playing some good football. Keep airing it out or strive for balance. I'm going to say strive for balance because we are playing the Falcons, which running the ball would be a little bit better for us as a team against the Falcons rather than throwing the ball. So I'm going to say strive for balance. Three new injuries. Oh boy. Yeah, 3 new injuries is not good. 3 new injuries is not good at all. Good news. If we get the win... Oh, good news. We got the win. The bad news is we didn't run the ball the way we wanted to. Don't worry about it, Derek. Don't worry about it, Derek. You beat the Panthers in real life. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Cold opponent. Whew. You know, losing to a cold opponent really would take away all the momentum. No fear. I can't have fear. You gotta play as a better team. But, I might jump into the game if it looks like there's a chance I could do something, but I'm not making any promises. 3 new injuries. That's a lot to take in right now. 3 new injuries. In that one game against the Falcons. That's crazy. Alvin Kamara out for 3 weeks. Nathan Shepard out for 3 weeks. Alontae Taylor out for 6 weeks. We don't have cap space to make any win now moves, even though we are technically leading the division. So that stinks. Yeah, we're at negative 62 mil. I couldn't do anything even if I wanted to. Yeah, unfortunately. That's just gonna have to be that. Our defense is good. Our offense is pretty decent. I don't know what else to tell you about how we're gonna go about this. I mean, I'll review trades. I don't think I can take any of them, but I'll review it. Oh, I wouldn't take that trade anyway. Let's fix up our depth chart. My rookie tight end's just getting better. He's about maybe 2 games away from figuring out what his depth chart is. I mean, what his depth chart is. Alright, well, Eric McCoy, you can go back to starting. Wait, what? What's this? Oh, James Empty. Okay, I read that as James Empty. I thought that was like an empty slot player or something. We'll just put we'll put Evan Ingram back in. Not Evan Ingram. Ed Ingram. Put Ed Ingram back in. There you go. Jay Schultz might still get some play opportunity. Yeah, Jamal Williams is going to have a much bigger role of running the ball. Hopefully that works out. Alontae Taylor's injured. Yeah, this is going to be a difficult game to win, even though they are 0-4. But I'm not going to play the whole game. I'm just going to watch, and if there's an opportunity to win, I'll jump in. We're a higher overall team. They have a much worse overall. But the Panthers always find some way to win games in the Madden simulation, so... I mean, we're winning. That's an upside. We're playing some really good defense, which is good. I'll take 1 offensive drive. No. I'll take 1 offensive drive. There we go. I mean, if I can get a touchdown, that'd be cool. If I can't, oh well. Mike Thomas, Jamal Williams, Chris Olave. Nice. Ow. Damn. They keep doubling him. Oh yeah, he just beat his man. It was that simple. Okay, can we not let them come back and win? Oh, for goodness sakes. Of course. Alright. I mean, this might go to overtime, but I'm not sure. Can't promise. I'll take one shot at the end zone. Westerman, our rookie. He's a target on this play. All right. The rookie on a game-winning touchdown. See, we don't need Phillip Ford. It's fine. We get the rookie a touchdown too. That's exciting. Alright, what's happening here? Ed Oliver and Olave get upgrades. Nice. Work on your speed rush a little bit. We already know you can stop the run. If you can get to the quarterback a little bit, that'd be helpful. And then Olave is nice. Yeah. Alright, we get a bye week. We're 4-1. Falcons are also 4-1. We have one of the league's best offenses, apparently. So we're playing pretty good. Bye week. Alright. How to address the bye week. Minus stamina. Let's stay grinding. Let's keep it up. We're winning games right now. The guy's playing a better brand of football. Right now it's a little bit more important than taking an off day. We are facing the 1-5 Bears. Our tight end gets better. We'll make him work on his possession catching. Manny Gerard. What a guy. He's a superstar. We drafted a superstar tight end. That's cool. I mean, we missed out on the 80 overall receiver, but the tight end is pretty good. Do I trust us to beat the Bears? Can't believe I'm saying that. But I surprisingly, for some reason, don't trust us to beat the Bears. But I'm going to watch it anyway. Please don't lose to the Bears. Please don't lose to the Bears. Please. You lost to the Bears. Oof. Disappointing. But okay. We beat the Chargers. The Panthers are 0-7 for some reason. Don't ask. One new injury. Who's injured? Eric McCoy's out for this season. That's tough. Well, insert Ed Ingram as our starting center. We don't have the best team, but we definitely still have a competing team at the very least. That's something to be proud of. Five and 3. We can afford up to 4 more losses. All right, we beat Washington. Now we face a 2-7 Broncos. We lost to the 1-5 Bears, so losing to the 2-7 Broncos wouldn't even shock me at this point. Discussing a rising college prospect with the front office. Okay, so there's a guy they might want me to draft. I'll keep my eyes on it. Who is it? we may want to look deeper at free safety. Dominic Theory. He's been standing out from other prospects in terms of his football IQ. Huh. Consider scouting. You know what? Just for my own interest, I'll do that. Where is he? No, not that. Prospects. Free safety. Apparently there's a really, really good quarterback. Or at least a decent one. Theory. Dominic Theory. Second/third round. Good hit power. Somewhat decent tackle. He doesn't even really seem that great, but I'll take a look at him. Just to make my management happy. We're 6-3. If we win this game, then we're definitely in a good spot to make the playoffs. Yep, I would have to say we're definitely. Oh my god. Alright, well. Now we lose Jay Schultz. Alright, well, that's unfortunate. But we lost our rookie tackle that we took in the second round. The O-line's getting banged up, but we can't make any changes. So, rough. I guess Ed Ingram can play left guard, I guess. Yeah, our O-line's getting banged up like crazy. That's probably what's going to make the playoffs difficult. Yep, 7-4. We got to win that game against the Falcons. Yeah. If we win this, then we can assure that at the very least we win the division. I mean, I can nearly assure we win the division if we win this game. We beat them last time, though. We scored 38 on them last time, so I'm going to say we beat them again. Yep. Okay. Now we face the Eagles. We do not have an easy last 3 weeks, is the problem. Yep. We lose to the Eagles. Can we beat Tampa? Please beat Tampa. If we have 10 wins, I think we make the playoffs. Ah, goodness gracious. The Panthers were 0-7, and now they're 5-11. But yeah, playoff picture. Are we in the playoffs? We're actually a 3rd seed, which is funny. If we lose to the Falcons, and I think we just switch seeds at that point, and the Buccaneers can't be better than us, so I think we make the playoffs regardless if we win or lose. And we won. Who cares? We beat the Panthers a second time. We get a division rival game against Atlanta. That's cool. We'll address all this stuff when we actually start part 2. But so basically, we go 10-7. That's pretty good. Who's in the playoffs? Let's take a look at the playoff picture. So the Chiefs win. The Chiefs and 49ers both win the divisions. The Bills will be taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Colts will be taking on the Raiders. Steelers and Dolphins. That's a constant theme in the franchises I've been doing recently. It's the Steelers and Dolphins playing each other. Packers will be facing the Eagles. I'm pretty sure the Eagles have the matchup there. We'll be taking on the Falcons, so we'll be having a division game. After the Cardinals beat the Cowboys in real life, I guess they want revenge, so that's going to be an interesting game. Very interesting playoff series. Okay. So we'll take a look at the stats and awards. Okay. So Dak Prescott wins MVP. Coach of the Year is Kyle Shanahan. Brandon Ayuk wins Offensive Player of the Year in our conference. TJ Edwards wins Defensive Player of the Year. The quarterback we opted not to trade up for wins Rookie of the Year. Where's Phillip Ford in this race? Is Phillip Ford even in the top 10? He's not. So, in fact, our tight end's in the top 7. And our receivers in the top 5. I'd say that we did pretty good. Best quarterback, Derek Carr's actually 6th. Best running back, I doubt Oh, we have 8 and 9. Okay, so we ran the ball pretty good. Olave's 4. I mean, our O-line got so banged up that I wouldn't be surprised that we weren't in that race. Defensively, Ed Oliver's in the top 10. In terms of linebackers, we're not there. Marshawn Lattimore back-to-back best DB. And kicking doesn't exist. Cool. Statistically speaking, Derek Carr throws 21 touchdowns to 10 picks. No, that's not that bad. And our rookie only threw the ball 2 times, but he completed both of his passes for 10 yards. Okay. Alvin Kamara with nearly 1,000 rushing yards. Jamal Williams, 550 yards and 16 touchdowns. Derek Carr even has 4 rushing touchdowns. We let the rookie run the ball a couple times. Keandre Miller got involved. Michael Thomas even got involved a little bit. Taysom Hill got a touchdown. Juwan Johnson got a touchdown. We let a lot of guys run the ball. Chris Olave with 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns. Michael Thomas gets 700 yards. Our second-round receiver, who we opted to take instead, got 642 yards and 6 touchdowns. I got him one of his touchdowns, and it was a game-winning touchdown against the Panthers, so that was pretty sick. Our tight end we took in the first round got almost 600 yards and a touchdown. Alvin Kamara got involved. Jamal Williams gets involved. That's about right. Our O-line changed so many times that I can't really even blame anyone for being good or bad. Trevor Penning, yeah, 13 sacks allowed. Ryan did his best. Coleman Shelton, I don't even... You played 5 games and allowed 6 sacks. I don't even remember playing you, but that's fine, I guess. Ed Ingram did a decent job. Jay Schultz didn't do too bad. Eric McCoy was playing amazing until he got injured. He will be out for most of the playoffs. Demario Davis leads our team in tackles. Ed Oliver gets 8 sacks. Foskey gets 4. Carl gets 3. Not a very sack-heavy team, but Marshawn Lattimore gets 6 picks. Tyrann Mathieu gets 5 picks, so this duo of DBs has been dangerous. Demario Davis gets some picks. Eddie Jackson gets some picks. Alontae Taylor got some picks. So our linebackers did a pretty good job, and we couldn't really kick. Alright, well, when we do part 2, we're going to be getting into the playoffs. We're going to be playing the playoff games with this team. It will look like this. Let's see what it's going to look like. So with Eric McCoy being injured, oh, no, Shelton, you have been awful. Please make Ed Ingram our center. So our center will be Ed Ingram. We'll have Jay Schultz, Trevor Penning. We'll have James Hurst, Ryan Ramczyk. Our new superstar tight end who we drafted alongside Juwan Johnson and Foster Moreau. We'll still have Mike Thomas, Khalil Shakir, the rookie receiver we drafted. Hopefully we'll get him involved a little bit. We'll have Chris Olave. Alvin Kamara will actually play. Same thing with Jamal Williams. Derek Carr is going to get his chance to lead this team to a playoff run. Kyle Granderson's back to the defensive end. So we have some pressure being set from these 4 guys. Mostly these 4 guys are stopping the run. They're not doing as much in the sack game, but that's okay. Our 2 DBs between Tyrann Mathieu and Marshawn Lattimore have been electric. Alontae Taylor's back to play. Our safety duo is pretty decent. Our linebackers have played very well. Actually, yeah, I'm perfectly fine with Tyrann Mathieu in the slot. I'm fine with that. And then the last thing I'm going to check out is how the rookie that I was going to take, I'm going to see how he played. I considered drafting him, but I didn't. I just want to see how good he became. But, I mean, ultimately, we got a lot of pieces to our team, so we made our team better, well-rounded-wise, even though we lost out on the second highest overall player in the draft. He only got up to an 81, so it's not like, and he was only a star anyway, so he wasn't like the most lethal player. In fact, our receiver even played better than him. Yeah, our receiver played better than him. So, I would have to say, ultimately, it worked out okay. Well, that's it for part 1. I'm going to get started with part 2 in a little bit. Probably after lunch or something. So, peace.